Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of the Stories to Sales podcast. Today, I have a really special guest. Now, to me, she's no stranger. Her name is Pamela Valdez. Can you help me correct here?
Yeah, Pamela Valdez, perfect.
Okay, great. Because us being first generation and, women of color, we want to get our names and cultures right.
Of course.
Yeah. And so, guys, Pamela, first of all, she has you're 23 now, right? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So, from the time she was in college, she has built a Valdez Agency.
Yes.
And if you just see her on TikTok, you see her on her Instagram, she's absolutely killing it. And so, before I go on further, I want to ask Pamela, you to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Pamela. I'm a content creator, entrepreneur, and founder of Valdez Agency, which is my media company. And it didn't start off that way. It actually has taken a lot of transitions over the years, but that is my baby right now that I'm working on and that I've been building over the years. And outside of that, like I mentioned, content creation, events, get really, really cool opportunities to do like speaking engagements, panels, all that kind of stuff. So one thing really like led me into another and it started all these cool things for me. But yeah, it really started with social media and then branched out from there.
And so, what I think last time we had talked, you mentioned that initially your interest was in social media, right? Can you tell me, where did this all begin?
Yeah, I can trace back like my love for social media back when I was a kid. I remember I had this iPad and I would make like music videos with my siblings and like I was so serious about it. Like I was like, we're gonna wear this, and we were like literally 11 years old, and I'm like, we're gonna do this song, we're gonna do this script. Like I was very like I took it so seriously, and then over the years I got more into YouTube and I was watching bloggers and beauty lifestyle creators, and that was when influencers like weren't really a term. It was just like everybody was a YouTuber. So I became obsessed with that. And when I graduated high school and then I got to college, I was like, I'm never going to see these people like from my hometown again in school. I'm going to a completely new college in New York. And even though I was dorming at home, like just being in that new space, I was like, I'm just gonna pursue social media. I'm gonna try a bunch of risks and do a bunch of stuff. And I really looked at my college years as like a timeline of, okay, you have these next 4 years, do whatever you want, try all these things, take these risks, jump. And that's exactly what I did. And throughout college, I pursued social media, learned how to write pitch emails, how to work with brands, what's a scam email, what is real.
Oh, that's
And
important. Yeah.
yeah, all of those kinds of things. I was just learning it on my own, and then by the time I finished college, I was like, I'm just gonna pursue this and see like where it could go. So
And it's so funny because do you feel like it was a natural intuitive thing where you're like, this is fun for me, I'm just gonna try it. And then do you think, like, when you probably set out social media journey and even the agency, initially, I'm sure you didn't think, oh, I'm gonna like start this huge business. It was more like, I'm gonna follow my joy here.
yes, it was exactly that. Like from the beginning, it was always just a side hustle, just a passion project that I was working on, never really thinking like I could be one of those people that I looked at on social media. And when I saw that it was more attainable and more realistic, and I just had to put one foot in front of the other, I was like, wait, I think I could actually do this. And I think the scariest part is like when you don't have people around you. Like I come from a very small town in New Jersey. I was the first one to branch out and do this. A lot of people were probably saying things, but I was just like, let me try this out. And it like really stems from like the love for it. Like that is something that you can tell when someone's authentic about it because like they love it. So
The energy comes off, like, totally.
yes.
And one line you had just said that it seemed like in the beginning when you were making those smaller waves, were you like ever misunderstood? Like, why is this girl on social media? What is she doing there?
Yes. Yeah, no, totally misunderstood. Even going to a fashion college, like people were telling me like fashion business, like that's not a real degree. Go to a real college, go to a community one where like everybody else goes. And I was like, no, like I'm gonna pursue this. I'm gonna try it out. And same thing with social media. Like no one around me was doing it, but I was like, I'm just gonna try. And in the beginning, like people are gonna judge you, they're gonna say things, but you kind of have this like vision in your head of you can see where it could go and like no one else sees it except you, so you're just like, let me try. And like as long as you have that and you just keep going and just follow that, that's the most important thing, honestly.
I'm happy I'm talking to you today because when I talk to people like you and other folks, I just feel like I'm so understood too. And I feel like you're preaching to the, choir and me too because I have to be honest, before my corporate job, like I was full time in my business for 3, 4 years. And I think when I started this podcast, I saw the bigger picture. But for, a lot of people, it's just like, oh, that's your side silly thing. But I'm like, no, I'm in the very beginning of something. But being misunderstood, like, it's so easy to how do you navigate those feelings whenever someone misunderstands you or even today if there's something you're doing business wise someone misunderstands you, how do you navigate that?
Yeah, I always just remember like what I said before, like that voice in my head. And I always think about my younger self. Like so many of the things I do, I think to younger me because I was also the girl that was watching these YouTubers and I remember like seeing Shark Tank on TV for the first time and I was like, wait, like people have an idea and they turn it into a reality and people just pick up a camera and they make a video, edit it and then post it. Like I remind myself of all of those things when I was younger and I'm like I just have to keep going towards that. Remember the vision, the end goal, which is just to create impact, get people to know what it is that I'm doing and just make the world like a better place than when I came in. Like leaving it better than when I first started all these things.
I love that. Like it seems like your heart's definitely like obvious. Like when I talked to you last time, when I talked to you this time, I'm like, I want to interview her on my own podcast.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
and
so much
so,
has changed since then, honestly. Like it's
hey,
been a
let's
while.
talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Well, first of all, it may be helpful. So for a lot of people listening, I've they probably know social media, they probably know what an agency is, but what does your agency specifically do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, media company, I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't know what that is, but in simplest terms, Valdez Agency, we create content in different kinds of topics and then we produce it on our different channels. So, I do content on career, business, fashion, lifestyle, and then distribute that onto all of our different channels. So, we have a podcast, newsletter, blog, book club, like you name it, we have it. And then at the center, we offer all kinds of services. So, contractor services, if you want to do a few months to help with vetting for influencers, creating campaigns, influencer marketing, in person programs. Like over the summer, I just did a social media summer camp for kids in my hometown that wanted to learn about social media. So, I put that together. Workshops. I also did a social media workshop for a gym that was local in my town. Like, all things from in person and events to posting content digitally online. It's really just like a hub to grow personally and professionally.
It's a media company, guys.
Yes.
No, I love that because that, I mean, that's exactly what I see. Like I see her on YouTube, I see her on TikTok, IG.
Yes.
When I looked at your website, you're speaking, you're being featured by these different outlets. You've done content for brands. Not only that, but I know last time we checked, you are an advocate for like Latina and Hispanic representation.
Yes.
So, or if like, please correct me, Latina specifically, or
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
All people of color, like I really just want to get everybody all kinds of opportunities because also growing up, like I didn't see a lot of Hispanic people that were doing all these kinds of things, like especially Dominican girls. I was like, I want to be like the first one to branch out and like show other girls as well, like we can do this, we got this, like no matter where you come from, no matter your background, like even me, like small town in New Jersey, Dominican girl, I'm like, we like represent, like we can do this, we got this.
I love it when like a Jersey girl goes out and does her thing. I'm also from New Jersey, in a town,
Yes, Jersey
maybe a,
girl.
yeah, maybe a town that a lot of people don't know. I'm not going to disclose it on this podcast, but um, I feel that because let's be honest, when you go on social media, sometimes you do see the New York aesthetic, you see all of this.
And it's not
Um,
realistic, like a lot of it, you know? Like, I lived at my mom's house up until last year, and I eventually moved out. But, like, all the things I was doing, I was living at my mom's house in my room doing it. I never dormed in college, couldn't afford it, graduated with student loans, like the most realistic life you could think of. Like I just want to show people like I'm just like you and I'm also trying to make it. So,
I that was like the most refreshing thing I've heard in a while because I'm like, hello, like what about like the real folks, you know? And I have
exactly.
a hey, like I'm sure you know it too because you've been in this industry, you go to probably influencer events. Not everything is as it seems where and honestly, you can tell when someone's being authentic. So I'm really happy you lead with those values. Um, so right now, does your agency, well, first of all, let's go back to what we were talking about before, which was you said so much has changed in the past year since we've last talked. I want to
Yes.
hear like all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I graduated college, so when we first talked, I remember like I got your message on LinkedIn and I was like, I don't think this is real. And then I like looked and I was like, okay, wait, this is real. Like she wants to talk. And I was still like figuring out my steps post grad and I wasn't taking my agency full time either. I was still just doing it on the side. I was even still figuring out my content because throughout college it was very college heavy, and I was like, how can I make that transition now into like getting people to care about my life not in school? Which it's been pretty successful because making that transition like sometimes can worry like content creators, but was able to figure it out, and I feel like I really found my footing, and I also leveraged like a lot of connections that I had to help me get different kinds of opportunities. I literally used LinkedIn to get my first job post grad, which was really cool. And then I transitioned into content full time. Like so many different things have happened, and now I'm really going all in on Valdez Agency. I do a ton of contractor work, so I'm in front of my computer all day. I had the really cool opportunity, like I said, to do the summer camp over the I think it was in July, end of July into August. Like so many things have really been improving and progressing. I moved out. That's another big one.
That nothing beats that feeling. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So a lot of like personal and professional things have really been happening. So,
I love that. And this is obviously just the beginning. You can already, like, you know this. What were some, what was the most exciting development in this past year, like brand wise? I think I saw something with Kate Spade, or that was some time ago, but yeah.
yeah, no, you were gonna you said exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, the Kate Speed New York and Madison Beer collaboration was one of the best like once in a lifetime experiences. That was another email that I was like, is this fake? Like this can't be real. Like every time something seems too good to be true, I'm just like, I don't know if this is real. But yeah.
And your sister got a you like you brought your sister along, right? Or was that
Yes,
okay?
yes. So it was a holiday campaign with Kate Speed New York in partnership with Madison Beer, and they were looking for influencers or just girls in general to be a part of the campaign and star in it with her. And I remember like the original email, they were just kind of like scoping out people that were interested. And when I first read it, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get this. This seems really cool, but it just seems like I'm not the kind of person that could oh, is it slowing down a little or
Oh, oh, this it's fine. It's so okay. Are we
oh
good?
okay.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like this doesn't really happen to people like me. Like I don't know if this is even real. And then they were like, we'll email you on Monday if you get the opportunity. And then Monday passed, Tuesday passed, and I was kind of just like I didn't get it. Like I already put myself in that mindset. And then I remember it was like a Wednesday night in November, and it was like 8 o'clock. I was showering, and I get out and I like check my phone, and it's like, congratulations, Pamela.
Oh
Like,
my
you
God.
know, you're gonna be going to LA with Kate Spade New York. We're gonna book your air flight and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna stay at this hotel and like all these kinds of things. And they were like, the campaign is all about like you and your best friend. And I was like, well, my sister's my best friend, so can I bring her? And they were like, yeah. And like in 2 weeks, we were in LA, 48 hours. It was the craziest experience. Met Madison Beer. She was so sweet. It was just like those 2 days, I was just like, I don't know what is my life. How did I get here?
Oh, that like when I think I saw that on socials, I was just like I was rooting for you. And something else I saw was you're trying to do your goal, which this is gonna happen. Like this is happening right now. We're manifesting. Forbes 30 under 30, right? For like
Yes. That
Yep.
is my
Yeah.
biggest goal right now.
And so, like, is this like for anyone listening who doesn't know much about it, could you just share what it is? And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So every year, Forbes releases their 30 under 30 class, and it's a bunch of different categories. So it's 600 people total, and it's 30 people in these different categories that are under 30 years old that are trailblazers and making a difference and an impact in their industry or whatever they're doing. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur or a founder to be featured. There's also people that work corporate jobs, like reporters, editors, all kinds of people, and you apply. It's open until I think the one for the United States just closed like a few weeks ago, but you apply, and then if you make it, you fill out another form that you were identified as a potential candidate, and then you don't find out or you don't hear anything until like 2 months later, and everyone finds out on the same day that you made it onto Forbes or not. But that's been like one of my biggest business goals for so many years, and yeah.
I have no doubt like that you're gonna like make it. That
Thank you.
grammatically makes sense. Yeah, I know for a fact you'll be there.
Thank
I already
you.
know. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that really, I thank you so much, because like it's something that like I always think about. Like I remember like when I was younger too, I would literally like Photoshop Forbes covers, and I was like, I need to be on here. Like I would find a random photo,
You
edit
did.
it. Like,
So you were on Forbes as well, right? For a feature?
over the summer, yes.
Yeah, sure. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I had launched the summer camp, like I mentioned, which was a 2-week program in my hometown for students in grades 6 through 12. And right before the program, I had this idea. I was like, I want to get some coverage for this. I want people to know about what I'm doing, because I definitely want to expand it in the future and not just do it in my hometown, like be able to go to other places and also talk to other kids about it, even do it virtually. And so I reached out to a bunch of different journalists for all kinds of websites like Entrepreneur, CNBC, and also Forbes, which was definitely my top goal. And I remember I sat at my computer for like 3-4 hours, and I just pitched myself for hours, like to all these kinds of editors. And I didn't think Forbes was gonna get back to me, but there was this editor who, her name's Katie Salcius, she was the reporter, and she got back to me in like an hour, and she was like, Pamela, like this is one of the most interesting stories I've heard in a very long time. And she was like, I get pitched stories all the time, and this is the most interesting one I've gotten in a while. Like, let's talk next week, let's set up a time. And I was like, okay, like I think this is happening. This is that first step towards like being recognized to be potentially in Forbes. And a few weeks later, the article went live. And I remember like when it wrapped up and they were like, okay, send us some professional photos for it, like for the cover. I told my sister, I was like, we have to go to the park. I grabbed my camera. We literally shot it like at a park in my hometown. And a few weeks later, it was on the cover of the article.
Oh
So
my
we got
God.
super scrappy with it. It wasn't anything fancy.
I love, like you said, that hustle mindset. And
Yes.
then, too, I think what I love about this is if we're listening and today we can all learn a lesson, you didn't wait to be recognized. You were like, no, I'm going to go to these reporters and pitch them. And
Exactly.
yeah, and I think so many times we wait for opportunities, but we just got to go and create them. But with that, like, as you know, this podcast is a lot about like stories to sales. You've are an effective person when it comes to pitching. Like, what are your biggest tips for like getting your pitch noticed?
Yes. And is this for like a brand deal or like putting your story out there like the
Putting your
program?
Yeah, putting your story out there, like you did this summer camp, you want to share about it. How do you get like a journalist attention? I low key was a journalist, so I get it, but I want to hear like your yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely like critique me on what you think I should be fixing. I feel like the subject of the email is like really important. I think my subject line for when I was pitching was like New Jersey creator launches program or like something like that, like just something that was going to be able to catch attention. And then I think the most important part is to make the email short and sweet. Like when it's too fluffy and there's too much information and it's a bunch of paragraphs, even like honestly, like even if I see something like that, I don't know if I would read the whole thing. Like I would just skim through it. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep it super simple. Like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. this is why I think you should cover it. Let me know if you want to talk in the next week about it. And then I will link anything relevant to what they can click into. So for that email pitch, I linked the registration link to my city where students are able to sign up. I also linked content that I was posting online about the summer camp, putting it together, like anything relevant, but like short and sweet. And then if you have a LinkedIn, maybe like hyperlinking it in there so they can check out more of your professional background. But I think those are the most important things like that I did that worked. So
No, I love that. What I loved, something I've noticed in the pitch template you just described, is you also are like, hey, if this interests you, let's chat about it at this time.
yes.
Like instead, I think I remember when I was like strictly like like in the newsroom, you get slammed with so many PR releases and it comes off very like self-promoting, marketing, and you came in with the cause too. And I think that honestly does make a difference. Like when someone is trying to impact someone or something rather than it all just be about the bottom line or, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, like there is no like I'm not trying to promote like a fashion line or like a brand partnership. Like it was just I want to amplify something cool that I hadn't seen online and it was especially for kids, which is something that I wish I had that program when I was their age. So I was like, let's just see who wants to talk about this.
Oh, I love that. And okay, so you're creating content on all these different platforms. And when you go on social media, you see people of all different ages, you know, creating content. And so now with you see the way the job market is, you see the way AI is shifting things. Do you think it's in everyone's best interest in some way to start creating content? Like, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I will always advocate to create content and that's actually something that I wish like I would have learned in college more is like the importance of building your personal brand outside of your career because I'm a huge advocate for like going to school and college, but oh wait, I'm hearing the echo again.
Okay, how about I wonder what's happening. Hearing an echo, make sure anyone who isn't wearing headphones has echo cancellation on. Do you have echo cancellation?
I have it on.
Okay. All right, one second. I is it bad? Is it super bad? Because I can fix it later too.
I think it's good.
Okay, I could edit. What's happening? Testing. Can you?
I hear you.
Okay, but there's still an echo, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit in the background. Yeah.
Okay. I'll figure it out. As long as it's you can hear me. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
this is okay. Yeah.
all
Um,
good.
where were we? Honestly, like all this will be edited anyway. What was I gonna say?
Oh, advocating for content.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like you were saying that if you wish in college someone could have told you, hey, you got to build content to build your personal brand.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because I feel like content back then, like a lot of people thought that it was just, okay, I'm making a video, I'm uploading it, I want to work with this brand. But now, like, one video can take you so many different ways. Like, my videos got me that opportunity with Kate Spade New York. These videos that I was posting throughout college got me speaking gigs and panels. Like, one thing can really, like, trickle into the other. So, that's one thing that, like, throughout college, I wish, like, we were also taught more and like really emphasized on is like especially while you're young like build your personal brand so you can have something to fall back on when things professionally like don't work out because like you can get laid off, you might not get the promotion you've been wanting, like you might not even get a job right after post grad, but if you have something that you've built up that like no one can take away from you, that I think is like your biggest superpower.
I champion that. I back that up. I am grateful for my job, but I back that up
Yeah.
because what are we seeing right now? You go on LinkedIn, yeah, you see good news, but you see so many people getting laid off, and it's like
Yes.
so many times I've gotten even freelancing opportunities or even clients because people realize, oh, she's a journalist. Oh, she, like, because you put yourself out there, you know, people know you're the real deal. And also, one thing, Pamela, is I know on TikTok you have 44,000 followers, and I believe on Instagram 8,000 something, but so many people see these numbers, pretend they're starting out. It can be daunting to them. I know from personal experience that when I was just doing storytelling related content, people reached out to me for speaking events like NJ.com, this and that. But turning it into like with your story, what would you have to say to people who are like, I don't have that many followers. Oh, I can't get these opportunities because no one knows me.
I will always say like the numbers game of social media is like something that you kind of just have to block out because that is really just gonna like drive you to insanity. I even remember like I used to make monthly follower goals for myself. Like by the end of this month I have to hit this amount of followers. And if I wouldn't get it, like I would be really hard on myself and I'm like, okay, next month I have to go 10 times harder. But the thing is that there's so many creators, like even if you're small, that you can get really cool opportunities. And that's why I championed like even harder for anyone to start. And like I really showed, I'm like, I did this cool campaign, I worked with this brand, I was in Forbes, and I did all of these things, and I don't have like millions of followers because like I said again, girl from a small town, and I'm still just trying to make it, and I'm getting all these cool things. So numbers, like you really just have to get that out of your head and just focus on the quality of your content because that's what's going to get you further. Like you should be posting like you already have the million followers. You should be running your business like you already have the six figures or whatever it is. Like just show up like you already have the end goal that you want, and then everything else is just going to follow after.
When I agree with that so much, and like there's certain goals we need to talk after this at some point too, but because maybe I could use your own advice for certain things. But
Yes.
so my business, when it surpassed like six figures, a lot of people didn't realize that. I think sometimes people look at like the amount of followers and they don't believe it. But I'm
Yes.
like, I did connect with a lot of people who had more followers than me. And yeah, even when I tell people in conversation, it's hard for them to imagine because they always equate it with the number of followers you had. But through partnerships, through all of that, you can make things happen.
There's so many
Anyways,
avenues to make money. Like,
yeah. What? Okay, so it's 2025, it's September, um, and someone wants to get started. There are so many social media platforms. Where do they begin?
TikTok, 100% TikTok is the way to go.
Do you think, okay, like, because some people are like, no, focus on long form, but even in 2025, do you think people have missed the boat when it comes to TikTok, or they can still get started today?
I feel like there's never like a right moment because I remember even a few years ago, like people were like, podcasting is oversaturated, content creation is oversaturated, and like we're seeing more and more things happening in those industries. Like, for example, with podcasting, Alex Cooper announced the Unwell Network, which is a series of a bunch of podcasts, and she's also a content creator. Like, no one could have predicted that just a few years ago, and people were still saying, oh, it's oversaturated. Like, it's just going to continue to grow. And I think I saw this on LinkedIn too that like Gen Alpha in 5 years is going to build, I think they're gonna turn the beauty industry into like $1 trillion industry, which is crazy. So it's like things are just only going to get bigger and bigger, and the budgets are going to get bigger. So jump into content creation right now. Like, even if it's as simple as like, this is what I ate today, this is my morning routine, this is what I'm wearing. Like, everything is content. Just make sure your quality is good. But like, more and more opportunities are going to keep happening. And the sooner you can get on, the sooner you can be a part of that because there is a corner for everybody. Like, no need to be like, where am I going to fit in? Like, there is room for you, and that's the best part about social media. Like, millions of people are a part of it, but there is a space for everybody.
That's, I love that. That's so empowering. I know I got empowered from that, guys. I'm sure you're listening. I'm sure there's some person who's super older than both of us, no offense, who probably got empowered by that too. Um,
I hope
because,
so.
yeah, no, definitely. Because if you think about it, it's like on a daily basis. I have so many podcasts on my phone. I follow so many people. I never really, even in my mind, I don't compare people as much. It's just like, oh, I want to follow this person for that reason.
Yes.
And so, yeah, and so forth. That was my cat. But yeah, 1 minute. Ah. Okay, okay. And so, no, I love that. Okay, guys, so if social media, if you got to start building your personal brand, the way to start, as Pamela said, she's the expert here, is start on TikTok. It doesn't matter if you're a mom, it doesn't matter if you're in college, it doesn't matter if you're a corporate professional, because I think there's always that excuse, I don't have enough time. But how, as we, like I have a few more questions to ask you, but one of the biggest excuses I think that's very familiar to a lot of folks is, I don't have enough time. So what's your response to that?
Yeah, I will say you will make time for what you want. And if you want to grow in the world of social media or whatever it is that you want to grow in, like you will put the time in if you really, really, really want it bad enough. And like I said before, like I always think about my younger self and how I looked up to all these people online because I didn't have role models like immediately in my circle. So I just looked to people online and I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. I really, really want XYZ to happen, whatever the goal is, and I'm just gonna like keep working towards that. But like just having that tunnel vision, going after what you want, it's really, really important. Like that's what's gonna carry you through at the end of the day. So yeah, you have to just go for it, go for what you want, and it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take years. Like nothing is easy. Instant gratification is like a really big part of social media nowadays. Like we see people blow up overnight, and we're like, why didn't that happen to me? But like slow and steady wins the race, always.
I love that. And as we wrap up, one last thing I want to ask you, as this is like the Stories to Sales podcast, and what do you think is the most misunderstood part of your journey? Like maybe it's people bring up a comment, like what would you like people to know that they don't realize from looking at all the hard work you're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely what I just mentioned, like instant gratification, is really big. And a lot of people don't see the work that is put into things. They just see what is shared online. Like over the last few weeks, I started waking up at 5:30, which may not seem too early to some people, but I was like, I want to get a head start in my day. And so I started waking up earlier than I normally would to get a walk in the morning, listen to a podcast, and come home and immediately like write up my newsletter, edit a YouTube video, staying up extra late even though I don't like to edit something just to get it up the next day. Like I am always just trying to like find ways to fit it into my day, even if that means waking up earlier or staying up a little bit later. But really just like I said before, like if you really want something bad enough, you'll find the time for
You're
it.
gonna
So yes.
Hey, I feel that, guys, because today, like, I came from my 9 to 5, and I'm like, no, we're gonna do the podcast. Like, you just have to make it work. And even if your first episode is in the bathroom, hey, that's hustle.
I
But
love that.
yeah, and honestly, there's a story to it too. Like, imagine if the podcast had started in the most fanciest place. Um, So I love that. I love this conversation, Pamela, and I know in the future maybe our paths will cross again. And by then
100%.
you're gonna be on like Forbes 30 under 30, and so much to learn from you. So as we're wrapping up, how can what are the different ways someone listening can work with you? Like are there ways for people to get guidance from you or just to be a part of your world?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned before, I have a creator branch in my agency. So if anyone wants to sign up to be a creator for future opportunities that Valdez Agency posts, there's a form to sign up. You put all of your information in. And I also have all of these different branches, like my newsletter, podcast, book club. Like there's so many different ways to get involved. Whatever you're interested in, there's probably something that I post about for that. But I'm always open to answering messages, whether it's like LinkedIn, email. I'm always open because I know what it's like to not have somebody like immediately to help you or a role model. So anyone ever needs anything, I'm always an open door to talk.
Oh, I love that. And yeah, I love that because I think for so many people it can be daunting to reaching out to someone who's achieved X, Y, and Z. But as you can see, Pamela's as real as she gets. She was very authentic with the origins of her story, and so you already know what you're gonna get from her. So thank you so much for your time today. I'm so happy we got to connect and got to talk about some deeper things. And I have a feeling Pamela will be back on again.
I
So
was gonna say
until
we have to
then,
do this again.
yeah, in a year from now, yeah, there you go. We're gonna like touch base. I would
Yes.
love that. Okay,
Yes.
guys. Until next time, this is the Stories to Sales podcast.
See?